We gon' rock. DJ turn me up. DJ turn me up. DJ turn me up. Everybody know me, all the ballers check it for me. You ain't got no swag, shouty, guess that's why you're lonely. Bottles overflowing and my ice is always glowing. Got some money in this club and tonight we got to blow it. I'm not your addicts, girl, I do my own thing. Don't need your fancy car, don't need your diamond ring. I got my own swag, I play my own game. Don't want no proof of me, I ain't doing that. We came here to party, baby, we came here to party. Got Patron in my body, and the beat done got me started, baby. Put your hands up, put your hands up. Tell the club owner I say we don't give up, 'cause we gon' rock. DJ turn me up, we gon' rock. DJ turn me up, we gon' rock.
Hey, it is Saturday night, and this is the Jammin Jukebox radio show. Welcome to another edition. I am your host, DJ Delta Dawn, and we have got a great show in store for you tonight, folks, because we are so excited. We have the one, the only Vonzell Solomon with us, American Idol, Season 4, second runner-up. We are so delighted to have her with us, and that was a song called We Gon' Rock from her newly released album called True Story, which we're going to be talking with her about tonight. And so without further ado, let's welcome. Hello, Vonzell.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Oh, thank you. I mean, you have been a very, very busy lady of late. And what have you been? I mean, I've seen you all over Twitter. I mean, you're always on the move. So what have you been up to?
Well, I'm promoting my project True Story that's available on iTunes, and it has We Gon' Rock, the song you just played, on it. And just been traveling. I've been in China, planning on going back to Asia at the end of this year promoting my music. And also I just got done doing a show in Branson, Missouri with some of my Idol friends and also promoting the show. So I've just been all over the place trying to grind and get it in.
And I'll tell you, I don't know how in the world we managed to secure you on a Saturday night of all nights, because you have been really busy on the weekends of late, and so to finally have some downtime and then to give us a piece of yours is just incredible. We thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Gosh, your album is just, I've heard some tracks off of it, and it is really good. I have been a fan of yours, though, since you were introduced to the world on American Idol back in Season 4. And, it's no surprise to me. The songs are awesome. So I'm really happy that you've got something new out. It's just so great. And now you said you are going back to Egypt, or you're going to Egypt later in the year?
I'm going to Asia later in the year, so I'll be in Singapore. Yeah, Singapore, Hong Kong, Korea, and Japan.
Oh my gosh! Well, that is going to be a treat for those folks over there. And so you have been touring in Branson, Missouri, with some of the Idol finalists. And how was that? I mean, was it like all summer, or was it just a few weeks, or?
Well, we actually performed for 4 weeks, and it was really great. I performed with a lot of my Idol friends, Ruben Studdard, R.J. Hilton, Katie Stevens, and also Bo Bice, who was on my season of American Idol. And, it was a great experience. It was my second time being in Branson, and I loved it. I had a great time. This time we were at the Andy Williams Moon River Theater, and it was, it was fun. When we get together, we have a good time.
I'm sure, and I'm sure it's like old times being back, on the American Idol set and doing the show there. And the only thing I wish that I lived closer. I'm in North Carolina, and I wish I lived closer to Missouri so I could have taught one of those shows. But it would have been great if they could have made that, where you guys were traveling, different states and locales I sure would have come out for that. I mean, gosh, what a show that must have been.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely great. RJ and I, that was our second time on doing the same show in Branson, and so we were really, really close. And it was just, it's like a family environment with us because we were having family dinners every week at someone else's place. And everyone was cooking and just getting together, having a good time. And then on top of that, we always have a good time performing with each other. So it was awesome.
Yeah. I can only imagine. And, talking about American Idol for a minute, season 4, season 5 were my two favorite seasons out of all the seasons of American Idol. And, the year that you were on with some pretty big names. And I just really, the whole season, I just believed early on. I mean, from like the, when you went through the audition phase and, you watch everybody, all the good, the bad in between. And when I saw you on auditions, I said, she is going to be in the top 12. I remember telling my kids that, and they're like, yeah, she's good. And, but I really believed for the longest time, pretty much all season, that it was going to come down to you and Carrie.
Really? That's awesome.
I did. I mean, Bo, he's great, and he had a lot of fans and things of that nature. But I honestly thought it was going to come down to you and Carrie. I thought, my gosh, this is going to be so hard because, Carrie, she is who she is, and she was really good on the show. But that season held so much talent. You had Constantine and Marulis, and, you had Michaela Gordon and Scott Sabal, and gosh, and it was such a good season, so well-rounded. But I loved the moment that you were on there. I was a huge fan. I mean, I immediately I was like, gosh, I love Vonzell. I loved your sound.
Thank you.
Week after week after week, you always brought it. But I will tell you that my favorite performance that you did on Idol was when you did Whitney's I Have Nothing.
That's my favorite as well.
Oh, gosh, when you came out in that yellow gown, it was just breathtaking. My favorite color is yellow anyway, but when you came out in that gown and you started that song, I was like, if she doesn't win American Idol, something's wrong. Nothing against Carrie, or any of the others, but I'm telling you, you really brought it that night. And I just remember, Simon even being wowed. And, for him, he's such a hard sell as it is. But it was just great. It was just absolutely great. And but it's so exciting to see, a show like American Idol, because so many of the contestants that have performed on there have gone on to just amazing careers. And you are no exception. I mean, you are doing everything. You're a singer, you're a songwriter, you're a producer, you're a recording artist, you model, you're an actress. I mean, what have you not done?
Well, thank you. I'm, working hard and just trying to make some things happen. So, yeah, I appreciate you recognizing, the things that I've been doing. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. And it's really neat because, not only are you still putting out music, but one of the things that I found interesting was that, I found out that you are a spokesperson for the U.S. Postal Service. What is that all about? Or, I mean, at some point you were. I don't know if you are now, but that was just kind of an interesting little factoid, about Vonzell that probably nobody knows,
Right. Well, I delivered the mail for about a year and a half prior to American Idol in my hometown, Fort Myers, Florida. And throughout my time on American Idol, I've gotten so much support from the USPS. And so after American Idol, they asked me to become a spokesperson. And I actually went on the road for like 3 months across the country and did all types of events and performing and speaking on behalf of the Postal Service and all that great stuff. And it's awesome. My postal family really supports me a lot, and I always, I'm happy I don't have to deliver the mail anymore.
I know. I mean, really,
Postal Service in some capacity.
I am so thankful that they recognized that you no longer could deliver mail after that. I mean, really, but that's just really neat. When I came across it, I was like, wow, that is really cool because, they utilize you in a completely different capacity and they let you, showcase your talents, your true talents that your gifts that you've been given. And so I thought that's just awesome. But so I was just curious about that. And I know that after American Idol, you also started your own record label and publishing company. And what was that like for you?
Well, my dad has always managed me, and after Idol, I had a few offers to do, to sign recording deals with labels. They were not, deals that I felt comfortable with because I didn't want to compromise my morals and all that good stuff. So this was a way for me to release music and be, in control creatively because I'm a songwriter as well, and do things that I'm comfortable with, So my dad assisted me. We started a label and a publishing company, and actually one of my aspirations has been to write for other artists, and I actually had my first placement last year with the OMG Girls for a song called Gucci This, Gucci That, and they did a video. It was on 106 in Park, and I went to Atlanta. When I was in China for 6 months earlier this year. When I came home, I flew straight into Atlanta, and it was on the radio. I was like, oh, my goodness. So a song that I wrote that song, and then I gave it to them, and it just, took on a whole life of its own, and it's just awesome to actually, have something that you wrote from the heart actually have legs and a life of its own. It's like, wow. And I'm not singing it, someone else. And it's like, wow, okay, awesome. And then people are like, I like it, so it's cool.
I imagine that would give you just about as big a rush as, like, hearing your own stuff on the radio. But, to know that someone took your song and made it their own, and it was, you were the brains behind it. You were the one, the creative genius, so to speak. And that's just awesome. And let's talk about your new album now. It's called True Story, and what was the inspiration behind this album?
Well, True Story, all the songs on this project was personal experiences that I've went through, in life since Idol, love and life and everything in between. It's just I always write. And so I was just recording songs and writing songs and recording songs, and I built up a catalog. And I was like, it's time to really put something out. So then I went through the catalog, and my manager and I listened to the songs, and we narrowed it down to 8 songs. And then when coming up with the title, I was like, these songs actually were all things that I actually went through, because I draw inspiration from anything. Like, I could watch a Lifetime movie and write a song. So these particular songs were actually things that I experienced, and they actually came from my own life. So that's why I titled it True Story. And down to the song Dirtbag. I don't know if you heard Dirtbag, and I always tell people, because they're like, how did you write Dirtbag? Where did that come from? And it actually was something that I experienced. I was dating a guy, and he, turned out to be a dirtbag. So I wrote a song about it, but it was only for me. Like, it was only for, therapeutic use. And then I let my manager and some of my friends hear it, and they're like, oh, yeah, you got to do it for real. Because I didn't even have music to it in the beginning. It was just raw emotions and lyrics. And so we put it together, and I was like, oh, I kind of like it. So I went ahead and put it on the EP.
Well, ironically, that's probably my favorite cut on the album. and honestly, that song is a song that every woman can identify with, because, and in some cases men too, because we've all had a dirtbag in our life at some time or another. That complete loser that, is so charming and charismatic, and they're a loser from the get-go. And it is the lies you tell yourself. You think you could change them and convert them and make them into, this great person that they're never going to be. And
Right.
we've all had the dirt bag, and I like it when an artist like yourself takes, a lot of music is written based on artist experience or personal life experiences, and and that's what makes music so good. But I think it's neat when an artist can take a song like this and can write about their own personal experience, but yet when you put it out there, people can identify and say, "Oh my gosh, I have so lived that."
Right.
It's just funny how we seem to have a lot of similar experiences as a human race. They may have different circumstances and so forth, but we can all kind of attest at times to certain people and things in our lives that have happened that are either inspiration, and for many things, and that's why they call it experience, But that's such a good song. I like it, and we are playing it. We are playing that on both that and We Gon' Rock on the station right now. So just both great songs, and so so Vonzell. When I heard him, I was like, this sounds it's just so suited for you, and you could really tell that you put your heart and soul into the music when you put it together. So I just can't wait till we hear the rest of it, because it is just awesome stuff.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. And it's well known that you have been compared to the likes of Aretha Franklin and Beyonce, but yet you are very defined as your own individual artist. And in your musical career, who have been some of your inspirations, or who you most admire?
Well, musically, I've had a ton of inspirations, including Beyonce and Aretha Franklin and Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan. But I listen to all types of music. I listen to classical music, opera music, hip-hop, R&B, soul, rock, I listen to everything. So, I have all types of musical influences. If you listen to my music, you can, hear, even in the background vocals, some of my influences that I've had throughout my life. But I think my favorite artist that, the first time I ever performed in front of an audience was Brandy.
Oh, wow.
I sang Brandy's first single, I Want to Be Down. I was 11 years old. I've been singing since I was a little girl, but first time I actually sang in front of an audience other than my family was when I was 11. It was Brandy, I Want to Be Down, and I just loved her. Then there came Destiny's Child, and I've always loved the greats, like the older pioneers of the game, Aretha Franklin and all those great singers, and Whitney Houston. I started to merge over into Whitney Houston, singing her songs all the time. And when I became, a contestant on American Idol, people were comparing me to these people that I looked up to my whole life. And I was like, oh, my goodness. I just never thought that would happen. I always wanted my dreams to come true, but when things started unfolding and millions of people were watching me on Idol and they were comparing me to all these greats, and then even People Magazine compared me to Brandy, and I was like, oh, my goodness. And then Brandy came to the show, and Brandy was like, she was calling me Vonzie, and I was like, oh, my goodness. She knows one of my nicknames, and she was just telling me how great I was and keep pushing, and she was so, motivational and inspired. She was like, she made my whole life. I was like, yes, Brandy. But it was just awesome. I looked up to these people, and then now, to have Brandy even know who I was, it was just a dream come true.
That is awesome, and and that's something that you'll never forget. That will be with you the rest of your life, because you can now say that's part of your whole musical career experience. And it's just, when I listen to you, especially when you were on Idol, I could immediately hear the similarities to the Beyonce sound or Whitney sound. And I'm gonna tell you, when you did I Have Nothing, that was the best rendition of that song I had ever heard. to not
Wow,
have Whitney
thank
up there
you.
singing it, but I've heard a lot of people try to sing, that song, and a lot of artists, but you just killed it, girl. You killed it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And but we have got a call that's coming in, and I want to take it real quick. I think they're kind of on a time constraint, and
Okay.
we're gonna let them speak to you. Just a second. Area code 302. You're on with Vonzell.
Hey, it's David Dwayne. How y'all doing tonight? Hey, Bonzi.
Hey, bro, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for calling in.
Not a problem. You know I had to show my love even though I'm hosting the show right now.
Yeah, no, I usually take calls after the half hour, but I thought, I got to get you in. You're in the middle of your own show. So how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for kind of cutting away. So if you have to, go, if you have to suddenly leave, just let us know. But yeah, I understand.
No,
I wanted you to call in so you could, I wanted to surprise Vonzell, but I also wanted you to call in tonight because I understand you have got an EP that is getting ready to drop, and I wanted you to tell the listeners about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, wow. Sorry, Vaughn.
No, it's
EP,
fine. You go ahead.
Okay, so my EP is called Fierce Wings, First Time Coming. It's actually out now on Amazon. Not Amazon. It's out on thatpip.com and myfiercewings.com. But on Tuesday, I'll be re-releasing it. Amazon, iTunes, CD Baby, the whole shebang with new songs, new mixes. And, I mean, I'm over here killing myself recording and barely getting any sleep. But it's going to be great. I went off on this. And this version of it is parental advisory. So that tells you how much I went off.
Oh, wow. Cool. Well, you have just been so instrumental in helping get all this together. And I just want to say a huge thank you. So I just definitely wanted to give you some props. But
no problem. Thank you.
You're a great artist too, and I like what I've heard from you as well.
Thank you.
So anyway, but and you've got a great show as well. I tuned in the other night and doing a great job.
Thank you so
I
much,
really appreciate
David.
it. Not a problem. Anytime, sis.
Have a good show.
All right, thanks. I'll still be listening now.
All right, great.
Okay.
All right,
multitasking,
bye-bye.
I love it. Take care.
You too.
All right. He's great. He is great. I must say, and you're very lucky to have him promoting you, Vonzell. Awesome.
He's so awesome. He does a great job. I love him.
Yeah. But, getting back to what you were saying before, I apologize. I had to kind of sneak him in because I knew he was in the middle of his own.
Oh, no problem.
But, what you were saying before about, some of the people that you have actually, had the pleasure of being compared to and meeting and so forth. I mean, that, is an experience all in itself. But in the same right, I mean, you have really come into your own as your own artist. And I just really admire what you have brought to music. Yes, you can hear some of the musical influences and sounds in it, but it is just I just love your sound because you are Vonzell,
Thank you.
And that's a really cool thing. And one thing I wanted to do, if you don't mind, I wanted to play for the listeners. I found a snippet of your American Idol performance of I Have Nothing.
Okay.
And I would like to play that for the listeners because it is one of my favorite performances from the show of all, we're now up to about season 50. Now I think we're about at season 11 or 12, but this is one of my all-time favorite performances. And so this is you singing I Have Nothing.
Awesome.
I don't really need to look very much further. I don't want to have to go where you don't follow. I won't hold it back again. This passion aside, can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide. But don't make me
time I hear that song, it just gives me cold chills. How in the world do you hit those high notes?
By the grace of God.
Well, you definitely have a gift. It is God-given, no doubt about it. And did you ever, when you were, young, did you ever take formal, voice lessons, or was this just you were born with this?
Well, yeah, I mean, I believe that, it's definitely a gift from God. But growing up, I took private lessons, and I, performed classical and opera music growing up with my music teacher, and then I went to a magnet high school that I also got private lessons, and I was in choir that we competed with and all that great stuff, and I even did some musical theater growing up. So I had about 8 years of private lessons growing up.
Oh, wow. Now, you have done some acting in your lifetime, and I assume since American Idol, and on Broadway, I believe?
No, actually, I have. That's one of my biggest aspirations is to do Broadway, but I've done some smaller musical theater shows, and I've also been, I've done a couple independent films, so I've done a couple things on camera, but I'm looking to get my feet wet. I think the last few years I've been so focused on, setting up my businesses and writing and recording and traveling and all that stuff. So now I'm looking to branch out, do some more things in acting.
And, on that note, is there anything in the industry, because you are so multi-talented, is there anything that you have, you would love to do that you have not done, even if it's not musically related?
I think right now my biggest thing that I haven't done is just to be on Broadway. And that's a big aspiration of mine. So it's on the bucket list.
I bet. Is there like a particular favorite Broadway show that you would just love to be in or
Wicked.
star in even? Wicked, I know. Wicked came to our, we have a huge musical theater performance center right outside, about 20 minutes from where I live. And Wicked was here in, I want to say right around the 1st of May this year. And I was not able to go, wanted to go, but my oldest daughter, she had my grandson, so
yeah, congratulations.
But thank you, but she has always loved that musical, and she has always said, Mom, if we ever go to New York, we've got to go. We do nothing else. And then we found it was coming. Of course, then that was right around our due date, so it was like, that won't happen. But I hope it comes again next year because I would love to take it in. I've heard that is a must-see.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
Oh, gosh, yes. And of all the places, you've traveled all over. And is there one place in particular that you just love and would go back to again and again if you could?
The Color Purple.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh. Fantasia was phenomenal. Like, it was crazy. I could watch her every day over and over.
Oh, gosh, I know.
Oh, and Wicked. Well, and I love all the great ones, but my favorite ones is The Color Purple and Wicked. I love Rent, and, I grew up with, doing Rent in school, and I love Chicago. What else? I think it would have to be Color Purple and Wicked.
Well, there are so many great shows on Broadway, and there's nothing, in my opinion, better than two things, musical theater and live music. Because, when you're in the studio, and you can probably attest to this, but, when you're in the studio, you have all kinds of ways to just tweak and fine-tune every aspect of a song. But when you are seeing someone live or you're seeing a live performance, as in musical theater, you really get to see people's raw talent refined and just perfected. And there is nothing like it in the world. I mean, you can get so just drawn in by what you're seeing, unfolding in front of you. And it could be very, very moving. And I hope you get to Broadway. I would love for you to get on Broadway. And I would make a point to try and get to New York to see you star in a Broadway show. That would be awesome.
Thank you. Well,
so,
when I get to Broadway, I will be looking for you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to add that to my bucket list too now. and I'm older than you, so my bucket list is probably a lot longer, and I have probably a shorter amount of time, to try to get some of these things done. But it's that would be an awesome thing. That I can't believe. Well, it's going to happen for you because you're so talented, and you definitely have the voice for Broadway. You really do, and you a lot of those musicals, a lot of those numbers, you've got performers hitting those high notes and those long drawn out notes, sustained notes, and you can do it. So I will be looking for you. I'm hoping that I see a tweet going, I'm going to Broadway. So now, here's a little interesting thing I want to ask you about. I have seen, I've got two things. I'll start with this first. I have seen that you're nicknamed Baby V. Now, how did that come about?
Well, my nickname, my dad gave to me when I was a little girl. And I'm the baby of the family, and my name starts with a V. So he called me Baby V, and that's been my nickname. But you know what? I didn't like it when I was growing up.
No, who does? When you're growing up and you already know you're the baby, you do not want to be called Baby B. It's not cool when you're going into high school and your parents are calling you Baby B. I can certainly understand that because my youngest daughter starts high school this year, and her name is Hannah. And I still call her Hanny, and she's like, Mom, do not call me that. I am going to be in high school. Okay? So, we try to refrain, but, as parents, we get these little nicknames for our kids, and we hold on to them. It's kind of, we know we can't stop our children from growing up, but that is kind of something we try to hang on to as long as we can. So maybe when she gets older, she'll kind of be okay with Hanny, like you have with Baby B, but and it's funny because when I saw that, I thought I remembered that coming up when you were on American Idol because I know you and your dad are very close, and you've always had a very close relationship, and him being such a big part of your Idol experience, and and so. But that is so neat. That is so neat that even to this day, you're still called that, and you're okay with it. So
yeah, I'm okay with it now. But when I was like in elementary and middle school, I was like, oh no. And then I got okay with it, but only my closest friends and family were calling me that. So then on American Idol, when I had people coming up to me saying Baby V, it was so strange because even my best friends don't call me Baby V.
Nice.
So then having people come up, it was kind of weird. But no, I love the name. I don't have a problem with it now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something else that I've seen that I just get the biggest kick out of. I have seen some of your videos of Vonzell of your alter ego cousin,
the Baby V show, and Bunquisha.
Baby V show. What is her name?
Bunquisha.
Bunquisha, yes. She
You
is
got it.
an absolute hoot. She's a riot. She is a riot.
She is really crazy.
She has, I saw some of the stuff that she videoed while you were obviously performing in Branson, and she was going crazy with the video cam. I'm telling you, she was on it. You were probably on stage, and she was just having she's
right.
She don't know nothing about this.
I was on stage, and she was backstage having the time of her life. Yeah,
she was getting away with it, wasn't she?
Yeah, everybody loves her.
I'm telling you, well, I liked how she kind of sabotaged the Baby V show. It's like
because I'm busy a lot. It used to be a lot of different things on the Baby V show. I talked about Idol, and then Bunquisha did her thing, but then lately I've been so busy, and Bunquisha just took over for me, so I'm happy about that.
Well, as they say in showbiz, the show must go on. So
definitely.
She has definitely, and And, recently I saw an episode where she had RJ, and, oh, my gosh, I don't know how much money she paid him to star in that with her, but it was hilarious. Oh, my!
Well, RJ is like one of her closest friends, too, so he was having fun.
Aww.
They had a ball together.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Well, she's getting her 15 minutes. I mean, really, she is really rocking it. So she, you have to let her, she might have her own show now, Vaughn, because she's making a name for herself. No doubt about it. And recently, I called, I was just on Twitter one night. When am I not on Twitter? But I was on Twitter one evening, and I happened to catch a little bit of a live video stream that you were running, and you were actually in Brent. This has been several weeks back, and it was, I don't even remember what night of the week it was, but anyway, you guys were doing a show, and you were backstage just kind of waiting your turn, so to speak, and you were just talking to the fans, and, it was the neatest thing, and I really appreciate how you take the time to interact with your fans via Twitter or, doing the video stream, or just whatever you are able to do, because you're incredibly busy, and to be able to do that and acknowledge the fans the way you do, that's a really awesome thing, because a lot of artists, are so busy they don't take the time to do it, or they can't do it. And so when you do that, it means so much to the fan base out there.
Thank you for, recognizing that. I appreciate that.
Yes, you're very good about it. You're one of the best out there that I see, doing that and interacting with fans, and fans really appreciate that. They do a great deal. So, my question for you is, what's next for you? I mean, you're definitely, going to be traveling again soon, but do you have any performances coming up in the immediate future?
Well, I'm sorry. I just picked up my mom, and I haven't seen her in over a year. She just got into town. I didn't know I was going to be on this late. But so next for me is Asia in October. I'll be on tour for 3 months. But for the next month, I'll be working on my next project, scheduled to be released next year, and also, getting Bunquisha to do some more shows, so you guys can always check her out on every Thursday, and then I'll be posting on my website wherever I'm at and the shows that I'm doing, because sometimes I do perform, one-offs here and there around LA, in the LA area. You can always stay updated at my website, vonzellmusic.com. Okay,
wonderful. And you might have to take Bunquisha with you to Asia. I'm sure she would love. Oh, yes.
She loves China. So she's going to love.
Keep everybody updated. That's right. Well, and, finally, one last thing I want to ask you is, do you have a favorite memory from your experience on American Idol?
Wow, I have so many great memories from American Idol. One being, some of my favorite celebrities, such as Brandy, they knew my name, and we also got a chance to meet Prince and all these people, and Babyface, and they knew our names, and we got a chance to hang out with them for a little bit. So that was awesome. And also having my hair and makeup done every week, and shopping in Beverly Hills, and then on top of that, living my dreams out in front of millions of people. It was awesome. So, I have so many memories, it's hard to just pick one.
Oh, I'm sure. And I'm sure, I've often had this question, and I know a lot of the, viewers of the show have, but you guys had some amazing outfits. Like I said, the yellow gown. Did they have a wardrobe that you guys just picked from, or did you actually have to go out and spend your own money and buy your own clothing for the show, or how did that work? Because just some incredible outfits, that you see year after year.
Well, there's a wardrobe department, so they help put together our clothes and stuff like that, and we get an allowance go out and buy what we want. But once you go over allowance, you have to pay for everything yourself. So we would be like bartering with people and saying, you know, wear your stuff on national television in front of, 60 million viewers this week.
I know. No pressure at all, no pressure at all. You just, you know that you not only have that pressure of, I need to sound the best I can possibly sound this week, but, you want to look your best, too, because 6 million years, I mean, it's worldwide, so it's just unreal. And I imagine, when you were doing the show, did you ever actually, it seemed like, the weeks that it was in production, that it just flies by, from one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night to the next, everything's on live. And did you ever get any downtime? I mean, just to kind of breathe?
Sometimes we would get a day off, but most of the time we work 7 days a week. However, after we perform and after the results shows, we do get the rest of the night with our family and friends or whoever is out there, or downtime if you don't have people visiting or anything like that. So we did get some downtime, and then I think there was like Easter, we got off Easter Sunday and stuff like that, but mainly it's, we are up at 7 and we work all day, and it's not necessarily rehearsing. It's a little bit of rehearsing, but it's mostly interviews and running around doing photo shoots, and then we have to do our Ford commercial shoot every week, and we also have to record the songs in the studio for the Ford commercial shoots. So it was a lot of work.
Oh, yeah, and aside from all that, you've got to be deciding, your song for the coming week, what you're going to perform, how you're going to perform it, working with, the mentor of the week to determine, and, and of course, if it's someone that you've always admired, and, it's very hard to, I imagine, when you're in that business yourself and you're trying to, do your own thing there, and then you've got this famous mentor celebrity there. I mean, it would be very hard to stay, I think, in check, and stay, and kind of have a cool head about it. I think I'd be starstruck or something. It's my favorite artist or whatever.
No, we didn't actually have any mentors. We didn't have to get a chance to meet Mariah Carey and all. Well, we met Babyface and Prince and Brandy at the end of our season, but during our season we didn't really have any mentors. So that to think about, but performing in front of Simon every week was very nerve-wracking, and remembering the words and all that great stuff. Okay, I'm so sorry that I have to go now. I've had talking with you. Like I said, my mom's here, and we're about to have dinner and all that great stuff. But thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, you are so very welcome, and we thank you for giving us some of your time, and we wish you the best of luck and continued success moving forward.
Thank you so much. You take care. God bless.
God bless you. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the one, the only Vonzell Solomon, Season 4 American Idol second runner-up. And we so appreciate her being with us tonight. It was an absolute treat and pleasure, and she is an incredibly busy woman, and we just are so appreciative that she gave us a little bit of her time tonight. And we wish her the best. And we're going to close the show tonight with a song off of her album that she spoke about earlier in the show. This is called Dirtbag.
Remember when we first met, was a perfect love story, Romeo and Juliet. You and I were so tight, yeah. Remember when we were cool, hang out all day just acting a fool. Everyone never break my heart, never play these games. Remember when you looked me in the eye and vowed never to lie? When did everything change? Am I the one to blame? 'Cause your touchscreen phone called me by accident. Left a voice message of you talking to your other chick. Ooh, oh man, now you're fooling it. You want me back, but I'm through with it. Then there's times that I ain't coming back. So in love, so naive. Love had me blinded, but now I see that you're a R-T-C-H-E. And you can stay the heck away from me. Did you love me? Care for me? Time is up, boy, hit the road. You're a R-T-C-H-E. And you can stay the heck away from me. Did you love me? Care for me? But I'm so emotional, 'cause you wasted my money, wasted my time. Should've never made you mine. D-I-R-T-C-H-E. Stay the heck away from me. I want you out of my heart, out of my mind. Most of all, I need you out of my life. You messed up the best thing that you ever had. Want you to know that I'm never, never coming back. Ain't it funny how things change? I used to love you, but I don't feel the same. There's got to be somebody out there that is specially made for me. Ooh, 'cause you're a D-I-R-T-C-H-E, and you can stay the heck away from me. Ooh, 'cause you're a D-I-R-T-C-H-E, and you can stay the heck away from me. So in love, so naive. Love had me blinded, but now I see that you're a D-I-R-T-C-H-E, and you can stay the heck away from me. Did you love me? Care for me? Time is up, boy, hit the road. D-I-R-T-C-H-E, and you can stay the heck away from me. Did you love me? Care for me? But I'm so emotional, 'cause you wasted my money, wasted my time. Should've never made you mine. D-I-R-T-C-H-E. Stay the heck away from me. Want you out of my heart, out of my mind. Most of all, I need you out of my life.
D-I-R-T-Z-A-G, the incredibly talented Vonzell Solomon. And again, we want to say just a huge thank you and shout out to her tonight for being a guest on our show. We certainly appreciate her taking time away from her busy schedule in her life to call in and speak with us. It was a real treat, and we hope it was for you too. And before we wrap things up tonight, I want to let you know that next Saturday night we have got an indie country pop artist who is going to be joining us live right here, 9 p.m. Her name is Alina Smith, and she is a Nashville recording artist. She has just she's working on a brand new album that should be out very soon, and we will be talking to her and finding out all about her up-and-coming career and talking her music. So we hope that you will stay tuned and be right back here next week. And if you haven't done so yet, we have a whole list of interviews that we're going to be having over the next month, and you can find all the dates and times located on our website, thejamminjukebox.com, and follow us on Twitter. We are at Jammin Jukebox, and we would love to hear from you. Let us know how you like our show, and if you have if there are indie artists in your area that are playing a lot of places that you think need to be heard, they have EPs out, please drop us a line. You can send us an email with that information to music@thejamminjukebox.com. So that is going to wrap up our show for this evening. I want to thank you so much for being here with us and tuning in. We do appreciate you being with us, and we look forward to having you right back here next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, we will have Miss Alina Smith live on air with us, and we look very forward to it. So God bless. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see you again soon. Peace. Take care.